drawing helicopters on a table with a Sharpie.
Because you know you're 3.
And some kid comes up to you and he coughs. And before you can get a word out, he's just like... and just showcases exactly what he had for breakfast all over your table, ruining all of your drawings.
Nathan, what the fuck, man?
This took me 6 minutes. And some kid behind you is just like, ah!
Why the fuck are you crying?
And then the kid, leaves an existential question for you. He's like, all that is transitory.
Is but a metaphor.
While the teacher,
escorts him and just, gets him straight to the medic's office.
And you don't give a fuck, you're 3. So you just put your elbow in his vomit and just draw over the
smudged Sharpie on the table, Right?
When middle-aged women need to work out, they're like, okay,
fuck the gym membership.
Let's go to Aunt Nicole's
Pilates.
And their first exercise, they strap a band to their waist.
To all 80 of them.
And they just kind of fly across the room with it.
With a tightrope.
And Nicole in the mic is like, get it, girls, get it!
Move!
Huh? And then the next
exercise, they're like, everyone get an exercise ball.
And we're gonna do 3 by 12
sets of girl power.
And they kind of bounce up and down.
Like this, moving
crazy. But I feel like we've missed the part where we're
supposed to lose weight.
Yeah, the part where we're supposed to, burn fat, build muscle.
Right.
That is a fantastic building.
Lads, what do we think? Should we go to that one? Alright.
So 12 dudes dressed in Adidas show up to a building with very clear health and safety warnings
to not go
and act like cats
for 4 hours.
Or at least until someone gets
severely injured.
And if they continue to act like cats and no one gets injured, they just go to an even more unsafe
place.
Somewhere where the risk of death
increases.
They just behave like cats.
Without the lives part.
They have a quick look
at 2 buildings with a clear fatal drop.
And tell themselves, let's attempt to
triple backflip.
Across.
For absolutely no reason whatsoever.
For a few clicks, maybe.
Right.
I got bad bitches with my duck. I kill them in my socks.
Sound engineer's like, yo, who is this guy?
I have never seen this guy in my life. Is he signed to some sort of record label? Okay.
Turns the sound up for his next verse.
I got bad bitches in my spleen. I kill them with my beans.
Alright, seriously, I have no idea who
just put the joint down 1 second. Who is this guy? Do you know him? Do you know him? Do you know who this guy is? Alright, look, security, can you just
get him the fuck out of here?
And then the next week, when the song Glock 40 Kill Ops on
Saturday gets 200 million
views, and now he's on Genius, he has to explain the lyrics. I just like to make
music that move people for real. I just been like that my whole life. I ain't even...
what moves people?
English.
Not whatever Morse code this is, right?
Alrighty, that's a fine piece of concrete. Lads, what are we thinking? I'll probably fuck up
our ankles, right? So all 7 of them on a random Thursday
gather their wooden boards with wheels
and kind of ride around
to mask their unemployment.
And just to let people know that they can normally do a trick, but they're failing, they either stomp on their board or throw it at a
pedestrian.
Right? Just to let people know, I can do this trick,
but just not this particular Thursday.
Right? And it seems to be a universal sign
amongst skaters
that nobody can leave unless
a collarbone is shattered
or a rib is removed, right? Through a skating trick of some sort. Just looking for a tattoo. And the tattoo artist is like,
oh,
relax.
Fucking can't be fucked. Look, how about you just do your job?
How about that for a change? It's like this every time I come in for a tattoo.
Fine. Where?
Yeah, can I just go, just on my arm? And he immediately starts correcting you. Yeah, bro, but, I think maybe you should go up on the...
I didn't need an opinion.
I'll tell you. And then I'll give you the money.
And you just put it in where I ask.
Fine. What kind of tattoo? Yeah, I was thinking something a bit like modern cyber sigilism. And he's like, we don't do
that cyber gigglism
crap. I'll do traditional, and that's it. Right?
Yes, I won!
Wii remote.
Straight in front of your head.
Your 8-year-old brother winded the Wii remote on the sleeve on his arm.
And
just piffed it at the wall.
Inches from your head.
Just to remind you and say, hey, if you beat me again,
I'm gonna make you a campfire story.
And you turn over, you look at him, and now he's a bear. He's just breathing heavy, One more game.
One more game!
Alright, okay.
Alright. And he just
pulls the remote out of the wall, gets it ready, He's Mario, I'm Luigi. And, you know, we're playing Mario Kart, and the nanosecond I cross the
Finish line before him.
and the whistle blows, I turn to my right, and a remote is about to go straight between my cranium and
My cerebellum. Right?
Well, absolutely not believe this story. It just happened last week
With a girl my friend's been seeing. So, he was talking to this girl.
She slid into his DMs, but honestly,
He said she was super sexy. So,
they started chatting, and they ended up meeting a few
times. The thing is, they were both
completely on board that this was
casual. Meaning, no labels,
just having a good time. They both agreed
a total zero pressure.
scenario. So, last week, here's where it gets crazy. She bought him a surprise gift.
It was a ring.
But she didn't just call it a ring.
She called it a dowry ring.
She explained that to
Buy it, she had to
bind the purchase to her,
government ID.
she used her ID to buy it
As a symbol of lifelong commitment, and she was dead serious
about using his ID to lock it
with hers, which would officially make them
each other's one person.
My friend shut it down immediately.
Right? That's what we're gonna be hearing.
For the next 6 months.
And on top of that, let's just disable noses completely. You know, you're just gonna be congested. Anything you do, you're gonna breathe.
Breathe through your mouth.
Let's just make the entire environment look
Apocalyptic and miserable.
you know, no
Animals, no signs of life.
no sunlight.
Just dark and wet.
And let's make the
Days basically 6 hours long.
on top of that, you know. And then if you want to go anywhere or do anything, it's going to be harder because
Because you're just gonna be slipping.
and on top of that, the chance of you hanging out with your friends
Is close to
nada.
with the energy bills skyrocketing. Right?
5 seconds ago, you were frolicking
The fields with Billie Eilish.
and then reality was like, hey,
Hey, you're a loser. Get up.
you have work or
School or any commitment.
it's even worse at a friend's house after a party.
Because one of your friends said, hey, I've had 50 beers.
My blood is basically out.
Alcohol.
Let's drive at 7 a.m.
Sharp. The next day.
7 a.m. sharp hits. Is the submarine sinking?
6 of the other friends all got up. What the fuck is going on?
The one friend
Who set the alarm?
asleep like a baby.
Right?
Hey man, sorry to ask
Again, are we stripes or fulls? No problem, dumbass. We are
stripes for the 6th time. I think you've had a
little bit too much ketamine.
He's like, oh, okay, sick, no problem. Grabs the pool stick and, his little blue cube and kind of just,
Rubs it for 5 minutes.
just so I look good. I don't know what this is. I don't know what I'm doing. Puts that down, finds the table,
Leans down,
gets ready, takes his time so it looks like he knows what he's doing,
and bow.
lands the white ball
Straight into the hole. Score, baby!
one for me. And the guy's just like,
What the fuck are you doing, man?
you literally sank my ball in and also got the white ball in.
That's 2 shots. And he's like, what? Were we fools?
What? Give me your lunch money, loser.
No.
If I was walking to class,
And a man tilted 45 degrees,
clicking his finger towards me with 6
other fucking guys doing the same
thing behind him,
I would start running.
or I would call a trusted adult.
Adult.
What are we doing? Right? Or if I'm, walking to class and someone in a backwards cap
Spinning a basketball on his finger called me a
dweeb, I'd be like, holy shit, this guy's
flirting with me. Who decided on that? Right?
Christmas is just around the corner. What should I get my 3 sons? I think 3 bottles of
Dior Sauvage should do it.
one for each. Then we should get
3 books
with a niche they're
slightly interested in.
for each. For example, James,
We'll get him a
photography book, even though he's never picked up a camera.
camera in his life.
Now, Samantha, my youngest daughter,
Has been a real piece of shit this year.
so let's get her a 2014 blacked out
Mazda CX-5.
a car. And Gus has been a really good boy this year, so we'll throw in an
Extra toothpaste
container for him in his gift box. Right. Next, let's set up the Christmas tree, with ornaments that are
older than our entire bloodline.
And finally, let's just start
Inviting random people we've never met to the Christmas party. Right?